Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Family and friends heartbroken tonight after a missing Lake Orion teen is found shot to death in a Detroit apartment. They want answers about what happened to this recent high school graduate.
Jacob Hills went out with friends Saturday, was supposed to help his dad yesterday. When he didn't answer his family's calls, they started searching for him. But early this morning, police made a tragic discovery. Mara McDonald live in Grand Blanc, where a vigil just wrapped up. Jacob had just graduated from Grand Blanc High School, Mara.
Devin, that's right. And take a look behind me. You see the candles burning. His friends and family came out. The makeshift vigil is there. You know, he was on his way to the National Guard in about 2 weeks. He went out with a sort of new friend Saturday night to a party in Dearborn Heights and was found dead in a basement laundry room of a Detroit apartment.
My God, I hope you watch over all of us.
Friends and family of Jacob's coming together in Grand Blanc tonight.
If you want a candle, come up and get one.
Utterly stunned by what has happened. Jacob's entire family spent Sunday as well as part of this morning searching for the teen until his body was found shot multiple times in this apartment building in the basement laundry room.
He was leaving to go to the National Guard, the Army Division. He would do anything and everything for anybody at any time. It did not matter.
Jacob's car was found outside a hookah lounge in Dearborn Heights. The AR-15 he'd received for a graduation gift was gone. His family believes he was lured down to Dearborn Heights under the guise of partying with new so-called friends. He'd just recently broken up with a girlfriend and was feeling pretty low before he was to leave for the National Guard. His mom believes the object was to steal his gun as well as money he'd gotten for graduation. It was the family working the streets who found and led police to where his body was found, very close to the Detroit-Dearborn Heights border.
He wasn't down there to cause trouble, and he wasn't down there to buy a gun, of all things.
His tax screen was clean. He was not down there to buy drugs. He was down there to make...
Because he was lured.
A friend took him down there and set him up.
Back here live, that friend is a 17-year-old young man from Oxford. Jacob's family says that his story about the events going into Saturday into Sunday has changed multiple times. The Detroit police would like to speak to him as well. We're live in Grand Blanc tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
That's awful. All right, Mara. Our other top story tonight at 11, a tense night at Clintondale schools as the board decides the superintendent's future with the district.
Former Clintondale school board members have questioned whether Rodriguez Broadnax has the credentials for the job. Pamela Osborne is live tonight where the current board just made a decision. Pam.
Well, the superintendent, he stays on. The board voted to allow him to finish out his contract to remain as a part of this school district. But there were tense moments, as you mentioned, in part because of those allegations.
How do you bring the district back together? Because it seems like people are a little bit divided right now.
We focus on kids. Again, our message should be, what can we do to support kids?
The focus was all over the place at Monday night's board meeting.
If we say we feel like it was black or white, you go, oh no, not the race card. Well, guess what? It is what they feel.
Some standing in full support of Superintendent Rodriguez Broadnax, others not so much. Mark Titus, the former VP of Clintondale's school board, says his concerns are with the super's credentials and spending.
Show me the affidavits and everything to get it over with, and let's move forward. If he's legal, let's bring him on and let's root him on to continue to do what he has to do for his children. But I'm from 100% if he's legit in doing what he says.
Broadnax maintains he has the qualifications to do the job. He's putting his energy into the students.
We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all the positive things. That's what we're going to talk about, kids. If we're not talking about kids, we're not focused on the right things.
And he did submit several pages of documents just kind of backing up his position there. Also worth mentioning, the company that did the superintendent's background check, they are reasserting that they did their due diligence here. Reporting live tonight, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Okay, Pam, thank you.
We're learning more about the people on board a small plane that fell 75 feet and crashed right after takeoff from a Macomb County airport. 3 people were rushed to the hospital after the plane went down yesterday at the Ray Community Airport in Ray Township. We're told a couple from Chicago has been released. Their 17-year-old niece from Atlanta, though, is still in the hospital. A 5-month-old golden retriever was also on board and went missing for a while, but after a big community effort, the puppy was found.
We left about 9 or 10 o'clock last night and hoping that we would catch him. And as it turns out, he was caught by the mail carrier driving through at 3 a.m.
Well, the pilot of the single-engine plane says he lost power to the engine right after lifting the landing gear. The FAA and the NTSB are investigating.
An update to a deadly road rage shooting in Canton Township. A man is now charged with murder. Jacob Birch went before a judge today. He's accused of shooting and killing a 37-year-old man from Belleville last month. Police say the two got into a fight in traffic on Haggerty Road. Investigators say Birch took off and was later arrested in Illinois. Birch was given no bond today and is being held at the Wayne County Jail. The man accused of buying the gun that killed Detroit police officer Lauren Courts pleads not guilty in federal court. Sheldon Thomas is facing charges related to the alleged straw purchase. Thomas is accused of buying a gun from a shop in East Point, then giving it to Imani Davis. Police say Davis used it to shoot and kill Officer Lauren Courts on Detroit's west side earlier this month. Demolition began today on the Maine Art Theater in Royal Oak, despite efforts to keep it standing.
The iconic theater's been around for 80 years, but closed its doors during the pandemic in April. Royal Oak's Planning Commission approved a plan to tear it down and replace it with a 5-story building. It'll house retail, restaurants, and living spaces. A group that pushed to keep the theater, Friends of the Maine Art Theater, was allowed to take memorabilia before the building was torn down. A new twist in the Flint water crisis. Attorneys for Michigan's former health director are asking a judge to sanction the prosecutors in the case. Of course, last month, the Michigan Supreme Court said a one-person grand jury had no authority under state law to indict Nick Lyon, nor former Governor Rick Snyder, nor 7 others. The Attorney General's office says those indictments can be reinstated as common criminal complaints. Well, Nick Lyon's legal team says prosecutors should be sanctioned for what they call a frivolous attempt to save the cases. So hearings are now set for both August and September. Rick Snyder, speaking of the former governor, expected to formally launch a new company tomorrow. Former governor is the co-founder of a startup cybersecurity company. Snyder telling Crain's Detroit the company will focus on small businesses, nonprofits, and government organizations.
President Biden continues to recover from his COVID infection. Today, he made his first public appearance since Friday at a virtual meeting to talk about the semiconductor chip shortage.
I'm feeling great. You know, I've had 2 full nights of sleep all the way through. Matter of fact, my dog had to wake me up this morning.
The White House is planning to hold a summit tomorrow to talk about developing a new generation of vaccines that could guard against contagious variants. Biden was likely infected by the BA.5 variant.